Hey everybody, thanks as always for tuning in to P-Dub's Arcade Loft, where we always appreciate it when you hang out upstairs with us. We're not doing Multicade Mondays tonight. We're going to do an I Hate Monday show. Reasons why will all be explained right after this. All right, guys, we got a lot to talk about and not a lot of time to do it. So let's hop into it. Let's get it right now. So, for instance, I was almost so tempted not even to be on the internet this week. I was going to hide. Michael B. the Game Genie beat me in Street Fighter 2. I had to lose the goatee. I look like Paul Giamatti. Some people said I looked like Seth Rogen. Some people said I looked like, oh God, who's that guy? Inconceivable from The Princess Bride. I've gotten all kinds of jokes and ribs and people making fun of me for being clean shaven. The only perk is I think I look a little bit younger without the goatee. I think I dropped about 10 years. Instead of looking 40, I'm looking 30. So I guess that's a plus of losing the goatee. Before we get started here, let's say hi to everyone in the live chat. If you're here, let me know. Get those comments in. We got Devil Waldo is here. We got Prince Malcolm Kevgret, Jason Donuts, Made in Canada, Ryan R, Dan Z, Weapon X, Adam Kolb, Alfred, Mike Dalton, Jason, Dominic Smith, Eddie, not 3911. Matt Astra Gaming is here as well, guys. Thanks so much. Mitchell's here. Brooklyn Menace. Make sure you guys check out his YouTube channel. Dominic is here as well. What's up, Goofy Foot? I love Goofy Foot. He's so nice. Mitchell B, who is this imposter? How's it going? Okay, so Best Buy, as you guys know, has been kind of a hot mess when it comes to these Arcade1Up cabinets. Excuse me. Ridge Racer as well as Terminator 2, right? They had a little bit of some delays in shipping and stuff. And I thought my cabinet was going to be shipping earlier last week. I thought I would have it by Saturday. Unfortunately, I did not. So what sucks is last week during my off time, as I was preparing Multicade Mondays, I was like, okay, Multicade Mondays, I'm going to have it be a racing themed episode. We're going to be talking about racing games to play on your multicades. What are some hidden gems? You guys know how I roll when I set up these shows, try to give you guys some value for your time. So I set up all this kinds of stuff and I was like, well, wait a minute, hold on. My cabinet's delayed. My cabinet's out here. And of course, our big cabinet spotlight was going to be live demo and gameplay of the Ridge Racer cabinet. Now, unfortunately, my Ridge Racer cabinet did arrive. It arrived today and it arrived 40 minutes ago. So I haven't had time to build it, haven't had time to assemble it. So I figured, you know what? We'll do that next week for Multicade Mondays. But I do want to talk about racing when it comes to all these companies as well. So hopefully you guys will forgive me. Things have been in a flux, as you guys can imagine. I've been so busy lately, haven't been able to do as many YouTube videos as I normally do, but we've been having a lot of fun. Twisted Gaming TV's here. He says I look younger, thanks to Michael B. I guess that's true. Mike Hawk. Hey, P-Dub's handsome brother. Anthony's here. Smash it. I'm assuming he might mean that thumbs up button. You definitely want to do that as well. Am I mad I lost to Michael B? No, I was never mad. As long as the viewers were entertained, that's all that matters. I know if you go and watch the Put Your Quarters on the Glass replay, I shaved my beard off live on air. I busted out the old beard trimmer. And it's a pretty funny 2-3 minute clip. It's worth watching. It's pretty funny watching me shave my beard. I was so nervous because I haven't done it. I haven't been clean shaven in 2 years that you could see in the video my hand was shaking. And that was not acting. That was natural fear of shaving. So it was pretty funny stuff. Akuma Rev, speaking of Akuma Rev, put your quarters on the glass. He's here as well. Mike is here as well. Make sure you guys check out Mike's YouTube channel as well. Mike Game Killer. I'm glad you dropped the ski mask because that was a little scary. His channel was Mike Ski Mask Game Killer. Just sounded a little aggressive, Mike. Sounded a little aggressive, but now I think it's just Mike Game Killer. I guess it's a little less violent. A little less violent, my friend. Real quick, where's Jago? P-Dubs and Michael B were great sports about the fights. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much. The whole point was making sure you guys were entertained, and we raised a ton of money for charity as well. And that's what it's all about. People, I see some stupid ass videos out there, people running their mouths saying that people are doing this for super chats, people are doing this to get rich and famous and all this crap. No, guys, we're doing this for you guys, for your entertainment, for your fun. And the fact that, $2,000 was raised for children, that is awesome. And that's what it's all about. Twisted Gaming TV, give us a $5 super chat. It was great. Good participation, brother. Thanks so much. All right, so I want to talk about racing. So I am infatuated with racing games. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know when it comes to arcade games, like my wife really loves shooting games. Like she really loves shooting games. Every time we go to the arcade, she gravitates. If they have a shooting game there, any kind of gun game, she wants to play it. Right? Me, if I see a steering wheel, if I see a cockpit, I want to hop in it. Right, man? I love racing games. So I think what we need a little bit more of from these home arcade companies is racing games, is driving games, right? And a little less of these joystick and button games. If you agree with me, let me know in the live chat. If you think I'm a fool, let me know in the live chat. I don't care. Just tell me either way what you want from this stuff. 19K Fox is here as well. He is doing this to get rich. Well, we appreciate the honesty. 19K Fox. So I love racing games. I want more racing games. I'm tired of Pac-Man. I'm tired of seeing all this other stuff. I'm tired of beat 'em up games. I want racing games. Racing games are cool. So let's talk real quick. Let's talk about iArcade first. So taking a look at the current lineup of racing games available for purchase on the iArcade platform, right? We got a little mix here. We got a little mix. You got Beach Buggy Racing and Beach Buggy Racing 2. Now, people give iArcade some heat, some flack over it. They think these games are kiddie games or whatever, but have you played them? Have you played them? These games are a ton of fun on the iArcade platform. And everyone here at my house loves playing the Beach Buggy games. And I know a big chunk of the iArcade fan base loves playing the Beach Buggy games as well. Now, what iArcade has done as well is they've included some additional racing games that have slowly rolled out, right? So you have Cisco Heat, which, that's also available on AtGames, which we'll talk about. And that, in my opinion, oh, some of you guys are going to hate me because I know some people love Cisco Heat. I don't like Cisco Heat. I don't like Cisco Heat. I really don't. Cisco Heat and Rally Big Run, I find difficult to play because they're in that, what view I'm talking about, right? Where it's like you're in this view, you're like locked in. God, I forget the name of the view, but they're like difficult for me to play. They're difficult for me to figure out. I'm not a big fan of Cisco Heat and Rally Big Run. But when it comes to games like World Rally Championship 2, when it comes to Neo Drift Out, I love these games with the isometric view. These games are fun to play, with that, from the bird's eye view or whatever you want to call it. I really dig those games, right? Even though they're not the greatest racing games in the history of racing games, I think, World Rally 2, Neo Drift Out, I think these are great games, right? And then, of course, iArcade added Moto Rush GT. And I know some of my viewers really like Moto Rush GT. I myself, when they announced this game, I was like, okay, it looks interesting. And then turn around and I was like, okay, you know what? It's on the Switch. Switch has it on sale for like $2, $3, something like that. I bought it on the Switch, right? And I was playing it on the Switch. Now, what's interesting about Moto Rush GT on the Switch is you could play it one of two ways. You could play it with the Switch, moving your Switch back and forth, like pretending you're swearing with the motion detection and all that stuff. Or if you wanted, you could turn that off and just play with the buttons, right? I tried it both ways and I just could not get into the game. I could not get into the game because it's a dodging traffic game, right? It's a dodging traffic game. And I don't want to dodge traffic. I want to race, right? I want to either racing, like if I'm the only guy on the track, you're trying to beat a certain time, kind of like the World Rally games, kind of like Neo Drift Out, you're trying to beat a time, or you're racing other drivers on screen, right? Racing other drivers on screen. That's what I want. Now, there's a lot of people out there who have gotten Moto Rush GT, which I'll throw some of this on the screen so you guys can see this. They've picked this up on the iArcade, and they actually really are digging this game. They're digging this game. They think it's really cool. They think it's really challenging and all that stuff. Why can't I expand their silly little window. That's kind of weird. Oh well. Well, we'll have to pull it up on the other. We'll have to pull it up on the other site here. Have you guys played Motor Rush GT? And what do you guys think about it? Let me know. Hold on a minute. We got a super chat I just saw fly by. Wes Hooper, agree. We need cabs with different controls. I really want a driver, a shooter, and anything else that isn't just sticks and buttons. Thanks. Yes, absolutely. This is one reason why I got Ridge Racer is when I look at my row of Arcade1Ups that's in my loft right now, once Ridge Racer is built, I'm going to have a racing cabinet, a golfing cabinet, the Tempest Legacy cabinet, with the trackball and the spinner, the Golden Tee cabinet with the oversized trackball, Star Wars cabinet with the flight yoke, and it's just cool, man. It's like an eclectic version. That's what you want. It's like a real arcade, walking around a real arcade. There's a shooting game. There's a racing game. Oh, there's a golfing game. You know that gets me pumped. That gets me excited. Gives me variety, and I know that when games have unique controls like that, a lot of people gravitate towards those games. They want to play those games, your friends, your kids, your family, your wives, your children, and things like that, and all that kinds of stuff. $2 super chat from David Gilbert. I'm waiting on that AtGames racing cab. We're going to talk about that. Papa Brad is hilarious. He's a member of the iArcadians on YouTube. Make sure you guys check out their channel if you like iArcade content. Someone said iArcade and I appear. P Dubs is legit. Thanks so much. And happy to see that other people are digging beach buggy racing as well. Moto Rush GT is okay, but it's not Ride 4. Okay, I'll give it to you. Moto Rush GT didn't do it for me. So I figured I needed to tell myself, like, should I pick it up on the iArcade and give it a chance, right? Um, Hang on one quick second here, guys. And you know, because a lot of these games, one thing that I've always mentioned over the last few months is, does the game deliver a good arcade experience? Which is what the iArcade has kind of done. They've cultivated and handpicked some games that you wouldn't have thought would have been great on an arcade. But if you take a look at games like Oddmar, games like Dead Cells, these games play Rising Hell. These are all console games, but they play awesome on the iArcade, and it's like an arcade experience, right? So I'm like, okay, should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? So I did. I did purchase and download the iArcade Moto GT on the iArcade. So, as part of next week's episode, when we dive deeper into racing games on multicades, we're going to show a quick clip. Does it deliver a better experience on the arcade versus the handheld? Did I waste my money? Or is it a better experience if you play it this way versus the other? You guys will get my honest thoughts next week. But considering the fact that I noticed that a lot of my viewers were 50-50 split on it, I was like, you know what? I got to give this a firsthand shot on the device itself. So we're going to check that out next week. I like this Snell World. Who is this child on P Dubs? Okay, but minus that, guys, as you saw from that list, the iArcade is fairly light on racing games. And you know what? They got the power in that machine. I don't want to see more Cisco games, Cisco Heat games, and stuff like that. iArcade, we want to see some better. Let's get like Horizon Chase Turbo, the new Sega. What is that? The virtual racing game. Like a lot of these Hot Shots racing. Like, let's get some of these games on there. And if you can, get us Daytona or something of that nature. I mean, we're going to ask all the companies to do that, right? Get us Daytona, get us cruising, etc., to fulfill, some of our favorite dreams. But guys, we need iArcade. We need more racing games. We don't want the ninja clowns of racing games. We want the good stuff. And if you give us the good stuff, we're going to buy the good stuff, right? We want the good stuff. I want the good stuff. I want some super sweet racing games on the iArcade. So, because it's got the power to run some super sweet racing games. You could get Horizon Chase Turbo, Hot Shots Racing, a lot of these games that I have on Steam that I would love to play on my arcade machine back there. You could get those games on this platform running, and that would be super dope. Super dope, in my opinion. What other racing games do you think the iArcade can handle that you want to see on that platform? Start throwing it in the live chat, and then we're going to pivot over. We're going to start talking about AtGames in just a minute. 19K Fox says he won some Hydro Thunder. Yep, this is the one I was talking about. Kev Gret Turbo Horizon Chase. Garage Gamer Gran Turismo 7. Isn't that the new one that's just coming out? Isn't that the isn't that the new one? Your average gamer would like some Spy Hunter. Video Rehash says it's okay to pass out Ninja Clowns. Sega Turbo. There we go. Wipeout. Hopefully, someone from iArcade will watch this show, hear your guys' feedback, and maybe they'll talk about it in a next roundtable. Matthew says he just wants a steering wheel. Yes, so my biggest concern is if the new version of the iArcade has swappable control decks, that's super cool. That's super awesome for anyone who's able to get their hands on a new iArcade arcade machine. But that means existing owners like myself, you guys, we're all going to be like, oh, geez, now we are we going to buy a second cabinet? Are we going to sell one, take that money, then buy the second cabinet to get that feature? Because that's one thing that AtGames got a lot of heat over when they switched from the 1.0 to the 1.1 cabinet is the 1.0 cabinet is nowhere near as backwards compatible as the 1.1 cabinet when it comes to add-on accessories, right? And I was really hoping we wouldn't see iArcade make the same mistake. I mean, would you call it a mistake? I mean, they're evolving their product and things like that. Would you consider it a mistake? Because their goal is to get more and more users, more and more units in the field. And think about it, guys. Products evolve over time. What iPhone number are we on? I mean, you're not obligated to upgrade if you don't want to, and things like that. And Jester says playing racing games with a joystick is kind of crap. Right. That's why iArcade, I would love to see on that new version cabinet that, that patent that they filed for a swappable racing wheel deck. Would love to see that actually become a reality. So that would be very, very interesting because it does not appear that we're getting that from At Games. You notice, guys, when At Games, and we're going to pivot over now, we're going to talk about At Games. But keep your iArcade feedback coming because I'm like 90 seconds ahead of you guys. So when it comes to At Games, so you guys will notice like when they talked about National Owners Day and they gave us updates, they're like, okay, guys, the quad play 4-player control deck, that bad boy, guess what? It's it's delayed. It'll get here eventually. We'll let you know. We're canceling the light guns. The light guns are canceled. But if you guys remember, it was about a year and a half ago that they announced that they were going to have a swappable racing wheel control deck for the 1.1 cabinet. That was not brought up in any way, shape, or form. So the question is AtGames going to cancel that as well? Are they actually going to release a swappable control deck with a racing wheel? And honestly, I don't think they are at this point. I mean, guys, they have gone whisper, dark, quiet on that particular product that they announced. They said, "Hey, we're going to have a swappable racing wheel. It's going to be $100 some, yada yada yada." Threw some specs on a spreadsheet, and we haven't heard anything since. That's a little disappointing, in my opinion, because they finally came forward and said, "Hey, you know what? We got to cancel the light guns. We just can't make this possible." If they canceled the racing wheel as well, I think they should let us know. That way, we know what's going on with it. Because as it stands right now, if you want to get a racing wheel on your AtGames products, you can. And one way to do that, of course, is with those steering wheel mounts that the Buy Stuff store or Buy Stuff Arcades is now selling in Canada. Got a $5 super chat from Wes. I bought 2 arcades, one for my brother and one for me. I'm not buying another one unless it is something with different control types. There you go. There you go. Yep, Snelly, we just talked about that. We just talked about that. ALU needs a steering wheel and gun attachment. I think so because, for instance, like when I was talking, because I always love just sharing the news with you guys. These companies, they provide news. Ubisoft sends news to 1,000 YouTubers. Nintendo sends news to 1,000 YouTubers. I'm very lucky that when it comes to news and information, these companies will send it my way. They're like, "Hey, P Dubs, he does a lot of arcade content. Send him news." And if I find it interesting, I'll make a video about it, but I'm under zero obligation to do so. Zero obligation. But what's funny is when I'm covering like the 4-player quad deck, I'm always honest with you guys. I'm like, honestly, I don't think I'll ever use it because I don't think I'll ever have 4 people over playing on the Legends Ultimate, and it's just me, my wife, and my son. There's 3 of us. I just don't see me leaving it in there for an extended period of time. But a swappable control deck with a steering wheel, oh yeah, I would park that on one of these cabinets easily, and it would probably just sit there. You know what I mean? And I would probably use it frequently and all that stuff. Yes, the AtGames Ultimate is still a worthwhile cab to have. They definitely Are they definitely need to improve their customer service, and they definitely need to nail down what's going on with their firmwares, making sure that whatever they're releasing is not disabling. If the goal is to fix or add a feature, not to break something else along the way. And they already announced that hey, this stuff is going to be once a month, maybe once a quarter, and hopefully by doing that, that'll give them the time they need because they are small guys. They're not Nintendo. They're a small company. That would give them time, and their engineers are in house, not outsourced from what we know. That would give them time to, kind of get stuff like, okay, nothing's going to break, and then push out those updates, right? Push out those updates. Now, I honestly would prefer that. I would prefer a swappable deck with a racing wheel versus a full-on racing cab. So, for instance, Nikki just imagined, can you imagine the shipping cost on a racing cab with seat? We still haven't received updates yet from AtGames on their Legends Ultimate Racer. The only information they provided us when they gave us information about, hey, here's what we're doing for National Owners Day, is there was a bullet point that said, when it comes to the Legends Ultimate Racer, still in development, no news to share at this time. So obviously they'll share stuff when they're ready to share stuff, right? But then again, can you imagine if even can you imagine it if it was like still this big? Would you guys have room for it? I mean, it'd be kinda tough. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna want that full on, like, if it's this full on monster cabinet. I just don't have the room for it myself. I'll probably take a swappable deck, myself. What would you guys rather have? Would you guys rather have a full on cabinet if you have an at game, if you're at games, right? Like, let's say you like at games, you want to buy at games products because I cover everybody. So the people who tune into my channel, you either support one company, the other company, or you like all the companies like I do, right? Like the people who watch me because I don't just make content for one type of company. What would you guys rather have if you are interested in at games? Would you guys rather just have a swappable deck to stick on your 1.1 cabinet as well as your Legends Ultimate Mini Arcade machines? Or do you guys actually want the full on? I want the full on cabinet, baby. I want that full on big ass. I want the chair. I want I want the whole seat experience. Let me know what you guys want in the live chat. You know what? What we could do to make it easy? Put a one in the chat if you want to. No, put a zero in the chat because it's like a wheel. If you just want a steering wheel, put a one in the chat if you want a full on racing cabinet rig type setup. Let's do that. Let's do that, guys. I think that would be a little bit more fun. Start getting those numbers in. Mitchell says stand up cab. Ray says P Dizzle looks like Macaulay Culkin. Nice shave, bro. Tim says he wants the nostalgia car bed. So do I, my friend. So do I. All right, so I'm seeing Alex, Mike, Kamla, Coin Worker. A lot of ones. You guys want the full on. You guys want beast mode, baby. You want beast mode. Chum Bucket, Mitchell, Mark Lunn, Michael. They're saying just give me a wheel. All I need is a wheel. Alfred says a one. Verdsky's a one. Let's see here. A racing cab with a gun attachment. There you go. Best of both worlds. I love Prince right here. I want the experience. God, such a great word. Experience. Thank you, Jong. Every time you say experience, Jong gets a nickel. Let's not forget that, gentlemen. Jaster says, I want the full 360 racer that's like a step in photo booth. That would be interesting as well. You know what would be kind of cool is, and you could get these racing rigs online. Here, let's just pull some of this stuff up here for you. Take a look here, guys. Would you guys want something, kind of like this where it's just, hey, it's just like a little like rig right here? Because honestly, I'm thinking about this. If At Games is building a racing cabinet, I'm wondering if it's actually going to be a racing cabinet. I have a feeling it might end up being something a little bit more like this. Can you imagine how much it would cost them to ship that big ass cabinet from China to here? Plus, then of course, those costs make their way to us. I mean, that would be who knows how much that Legends Ultimate Racer is going to be if it's an actual cabinet. But if it's more of a rig, kind of like this one right here, like, hey guys, we're going to give you a steering wheel, we're going to give you pedals, we're going to give you a seat, And I don't know if they'll include the monitor or not. Probably not. But they're going to give you like a custom rig, and it has a Legends Connect connected to it. Because remember, guys, they said it was going to be powered by the Legends Connect board. You take that board, connect it to your monitor and run whatever games you want off your own PC. I mean, it does sound like kind of like their other products. If I had to guess, it would be something like that. Whereas in like we give you this kind of like the pinball machine. We give you this, some built-in stuff. But then again, if you want to have the best, most amazing pinball experience in the world, you got to bring your own PC, right? And you got to bring VPX, Future Pinball, all that kinds of stuff. People are adding third monitor and all that stuff. AtGames is a tinkerer's toy and all that stuff. That's no goatee. It's a base station. Oh man. But yeah, also too, real quick, I would love to, if it's going to have 3 screen support. Remember, guys, they said that it would have multiple screen support. Makes me think that it would be something like this, but you got to bring your own monitors, right? So, like, if AtGames made something like this at a cost-effective price, you get the chair, you get the wheels, you get the Legends Connect board, you get the shifter, the gas pedal, the brakes, like all that's supplied by AtGames, and you just supply the monitor and then of course the PC to run your own games. I think that would be kind of cool, right? Like I just don't see them doing that. Whatever it was that they showed off, that Alibaba thing that they showed off last National Owners Day, I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. Jason says 1,000 for a seat, wheel, pedals. I want a cab that I don't need to log in every 5 power-ups. Yeah, it's been that way for what? Ever since they started the login thing. Is it like a year and a half ago? I mean, I think if they were going to get rid of it, they would have got rid of it by now. It's been a year and a half. Why wait? I have a feeling that's staying, dude. I don't think that's going anywhere. Wes says 132-inch curve monitor would be fine. Ray says he just built a rig. He was going to buy Outrun until he saw Kong's RS Outrun mod with modern games. The better graphics had himself do it himself. There you go as well. There you guys go as well. All right, guys, we're cutting it close here, but let's talk about Arcade1Up. So my Ridge Racer cabinet just arrived today. Right, before I went live, half hour, 45 minutes or so before I went live. Have not had a chance to take it out of the box and assemble it yet. So I'm looking forward to doing that this evening. I'll probably be building that cabinet while I'm listening to Michael B, the Game Genie's podcast show. He usually comes on right after I do. So I'm super excited to check that out. But if there's one company that continues to say, "Hey, you know what? We want to give you, an actual thing. What is it called? You turn it on, you play the game, and it has a steering wheel and it works." Arcade1Up gave us Outrun. Now we have Ridge Racer. But what's next, guys? What do you want next from Arcade1Up? I gotta tell you, over this weekend, I actually got out of the house, spent some time. Viewer named Vern, who actually lives real close to me and him, Jamie Locken. I don't know if Jamie's here. Jamie was visiting. He's in town. He was here in Arizona visiting. You guys have probably seen Jamie Locken's name in the live chat. The 3 of us went to Level 1 Arcade Bar here in Arizona, had a blast. And they have games like Off Road and Pole Position. And I'm like, you know what? Everyone's screaming for Daytona, but what about Off Road and Pole Position? Do you guys not want those games? Because I got to tell you, I thought I just saw 2 on Facebook. Somebody modded an Arcade1Up and turned it into a 3-player off-road cabinet, and it looked pretty BA, man. It looked pretty awesome. I think those would be cool too. Or is it's got to be Daytona or bust. You got to let us know. Jaster says, feeling a bit of FOMO for Ridge Racer. Looking forward to your review. Yes, of course, I will review it. And if you guys know me, I will point out opportunities for improvement if I see them. But I'm not like a malicious reviewer, although people take it that way. P-Dubs hates Arcade1Up. Wait a minute, P-Dubs has reviewed 30 Arcade1Up cabinets and he gave 25 of them positive reviews. 5 of them he gave a bad review to. Yeah, but he hates Arcade1Up. No, you're an idiot. That's the story of my life, guys. That's the story of my life. Off-road, but Daytona would be better. Yes, pole position. Hang on. Yeah, you saw that off-road cab on Facebook Marketplace. It was amazing. It was amazing. It made me think Arcade1Up should do an off-road cab. Road blasters could be fun as well. Pew 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 pew. I love the Cruising series, love and respect Daytona, but I really want 2 machines in Cruising. God, man, Arcade1Up really needs to get these cabinets to link. I mean, that's one thing I'm not happy about with their but then again, would I have bought 2 Ridge Racer cabinets? Like, let's say they all right, let me ask you this, guys. Let's, because Ace Driver, Ridge Ra the not Ridge Racer 1, the Ridge Racer was it Ridge Racer 2 or Rave Racer, Ace Driver, Ace Driver Victory Lap. All those cabinets were linked in the arcades. And I think one of them you could get up to 8 cabinets linked at once. But let me ask you this. If Arcade One Up had said, guess what, guys, we're coming out with Ridge Racer and the cabinets can be linked. So if you buy 2 cabinets, put them side by side in your game room, you'll be able to have linked play. Would you guys have bought it? Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if it's a yes, put a 0 if no. I probably wouldn't have because I'm in the situation where I just don't have the space for that. But if I did have a massive game room like some of you guys, the massive basements and things like that, like I'm waiting, guys, I got to wait tax return, got to get all that stuff filed, and then I'm going to start expanding and tearing the hell out of my house and trying to get some more room for stuff. But until then, I can't get two of the same cabinets. I can't do it. No room, man. No room, bro. But that would be cool, right? That would be kind of cool. I see zeros. I see ones. Okay. Now, okay, but I did say linked Ridge Racer. Now, what if they came out and said, yes, we're going to give you linked cruising cabinets or linked Daytona cabinets? Would you guys buy 2 of them for your kids, for your family, for your friends, for your parties, for your get togethers? Same thing. 1 in the chat if it's a yes, put a 0 if it's a no, would definitely appreciate that. Yeah, Kev Gretz said, "No way, not for 2." Well, some people said yes, Kev. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean they don't like it. Some people said yes in the live chat. I respect their opinion. They are too expensive. Now, Meatball, let's see here. Off-road and pole position are 360-degree wheel games. I love those games, but you cannot pair them with non-360-degree wheel games. So a 360-degree cab seems like a good evolution of offerings. So yeah, like if they came out with a separate cabinet that was just like, off-road or pole position where you just that's it. Like you just whatever those top-down 360 degrees spinning. Hell, I did a video on this when I put a steering wheel made out of plumbing parts on my AtGames Legends Ultimate, which was a proof of concept. It was like, hey guys, like you could attach a steering wheel to the spinner and use it as a steering wheel as a proof of concept made out of plumbing parts. Shortly after that, everyone else started making like 3D printed wheels that they connect to that same spot and all that kinds of stuff. So it was really cool to see that proof of concept kind of take off. But yeah, in that video, I showed a bunch of those top-down games with the 360-degree wheel rotation that would be fun to play. I just can't remember them all off the top of my head. But yeah, man, Arcade One Up. Uh, I'm hoping Ridge Racer is good. I really am. Can't wait to try it out. Because like a lot of people, I maybe played one of these games on the PlayStation 1, maybe 2 of them. I can't remember, dude. It was eons ago. But I never played these in the arcades because these were so limited, the Ridge Racer games. I mean, they only made about 300 of each machine. So they were very limited. Odds are you never played Ridge Racer, Rave Racer, Ace Driver in an arcade unless you were lucky and happened to have one in your area due to the very low production run that Nameco did building those cabinets. I've maybe played 1 or 2 of them on the PlayStation 1 back when I had a PlayStation 1 when I was younger, but not all the games. So I'm looking forward to checking out. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully I like it because I do like driving games. How to Bachelor, hello, good evening. $2.69 super chat. Thanks so much. And make sure you guys check out his YouTube channel as well. I appreciate you waiting for my review, MG. That means a lot to me. But also, don't just watch my review. Make sure you watch. I always call it the rule of 3. Always watch 3 product reviews and obviously make your own opinion after that. Don't just do something someone else tells you to do. Someone already broke their pedal? Oh, don't tell me that. According to John D, these things have got better springs and better tension rods. I went off on a tangent on Super Game Room dudes that because I thought we were being misinformed, but apparently the guts of the pedals are supposed to be improved, even though the exterior of the pedals look the same. And I had to end up trimming stuff out of my podcast show because I didn't want to provide my viewers misinformation and say it is the same when it's not the same. But you're telling me the pedal's already broke? Come on. Don't tell me that already. I don't want to hear that. RB says I look young AF. Thanks so much, man. Greatly, greatly appreciate that. I love this meatball. ABP, Super Sprint, and Badlands could be good pairings to both pole positions and off road. Lots of crossing of licenses, but still interesting. Uh, Majin says lies, lies, lies. I said the pedals are the same, yo. So it's too bad I sold my Outrun cabinet because I would totally tear open those pedals and take a look. Take a look. Um, do you think Arcade1Up is going to step into the future and give us games like Mortal Kombat 9 and Justice? No, I don't. I don't see them doing that. I don't see them doing that. How to Bachelor ordered his Tron and Pong pub table. God, try and say that 5 times fast. When you play that Ridge Racer arcade, don't play with shoes. Oh, geez, don't tell me that. You got. I mean, I gotta play with just socks. Oh, that'd be weird, man. What's up, Kongs or us? He says, babyface dubs. Good man. I almost didn't live stream until this thing grows back, but it's already starting. Like I shaved this morning, shaved the cheeks. Goatee's already coming back. It's only been 2 days. It'll be back in no time. I'm not too worried about it. I don't think that's going to happen, Dre. I do not see Arcade1Up doing Mortal Kombat 9 or Injustice. I think they're going to do a lot of like PlayStation 1 and before type games. I don't see them doing anything after that. Oh, are we going to get a Dragon's Lair update? I hope so. All my money is still on um, NFL Blitz happening, being announced during the Super Bowl, the week of this, either during the Super Bowl halftime show, the day of the Super Bowl. It's going to happen. NFL Blitz is going to happen. You guys can disagree with me all you want. It's going to happen. Okay, guys. So, my apologies that my cabinet arrived late. I wasn't able to build it and not only get it built, but get all the cameras set up out in the loft because we were going to do multicade Mondays out there and talk racing games out there, plus do a live demo of the Ridge Racer cabinet and all that kinds of stuff. So what I'm going to do is, while you guys are watching Michael be the Game Genie, make sure you tell him P-Dub sent you. I'll be building my Ridge Racer cabinet while you guys are enjoying his broadcast. He's going to be talking about that Golden Tea cabinet. So you guys definitely want to head over there and check it out. I put a video out about that a month ago, but I definitely want to hear his take on it and what his thoughts are, because that's what YouTube is all about. Even if the videos are the same topic, you're listening to different opinions, different impressions. And that's why I watch 3 reviews on every product, because that's what it's all about. So apologies for the short show. Next week, we're coming back strong. Multicade Mondays is going to be awesome next week. Make sure you guys tune in. And thanks so much for joining me for a quick impromptu I Hate Monday show. If you watch the replay, tell me all about racing games in the comments after the video's over. Tell Michael B I said hi. Tell him it's a raid from the loft. And if you enjoyed tonight's podcast, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up on the way out. And as always, my dudes, thank you for subscribing. And the goatee will return. You guys have a great night.